Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here with another Friday Reads. Things have been kind of crazy around here. I'm recording this early because things are going to get even more crazy. My father-in-law, who I've mentioned here before, passed away last night. He was 97 and had severe dementia, so he was ready and it was time. But it was still, when I got the phone call, it still surprised me. I had a great visit with him yesterday, brought him a milkshake, and we had a really good hour-long visit. The nurse said, he was doing great, and then just suddenly passed on. So it was peaceful, and it was definitely timely, and now we have a lot to do because he wanted to be buried back in his home in Oklahoma. So we have to try to get all that together. So that's what's going on here today. I didn't get an awful lot of sleep last night. I'm not in great shape, but I had to get up and dressed and put some makeup on for a podcast interview this morning. So I thought I better take advantage of this, record my video now while I have the time and the energy, because things are going to get, I think, more crazy as we try to plan our own trip out to Oklahoma as well, and getting our sons out there and all the arrangements. So anyway, a little bit of a crazy day. That's what's going on in my life. But let's talk books. And specifically, let's talk the Big Book Summer Challenge. I am still thoroughly enjoying my Big Book Summer reading. This week, I started a new big book, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which many people, including my husband, have told me was a great book. That's underselling it. This is a hug it to your chest book. I am loving it, and I'm tearing through it in record time. It's another reason I'm so tired. I did try to go to bed early last night and just didn't sleep well, but I've been staying up way too late ever since I started this, because I just can't put it down. One more paragraph, one more page, just to the end of the chapter. You know how that goes. And before you know it, it's 11 o'clock, which is late for me, and I'm tired the next day. So anyway, the only way to tell you about this book without spoiling it is only to tell you the very basics about the setup at the very beginning. There is a man, I won't even tell you his name, because he doesn't remember his name himself. And he wakes up out of kind of a coma and realizes he's on a spaceship. There are two other people in the dormitory with him, but they're both dead. And looks like they've been dead for a long time. So he is all alone, out in space, just woke from a coma, and has amnesia. He doesn't remember a single thing, not even his own name, and certainly not what on earth he's doing. On Earth, get it? And certainly not what he's doing on this spaceship. Is that an amazing setup or what? And it only gets better from there. Again, no spoilers. All I will say, and it's hinted at in the blurb anyway, all I will say is that there is one of the most amazing first contact situations I have ever read about or seen in a movie or anything. I am loving this book. Like The Martian, it is filled with science, but also Andy Weir's amazing sense of humor. In fact, this main character does remind me a bit of the main character of The Martian, in that luckily he's got a good sense of humor, and I mean, you would have to be all alone in a spaceship. And it is action-packed, it's suspenseful, it is heartwarming, and very, very funny. So don't want to tell you too much more about it, except that I am loving it and can't wait to finish reading it. That's Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Whatever you've heard about it, it's even better. And I am also listening to a big book on audio, as I typically do during the summer. I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you want more information on the Big Book Summer Challenge or to join the fun yourself, it's only the beginning of July, so there is plenty of time left in the summer or winter if you're on the other side of the world. You can check out the information down below. Click on the little word more. YouTube has made it very difficult to see the notes under a video, but if you just click on that little word more, you'll see all the notes, and I'll include a link to more information about the Big Book Summer Challenge. So my big book audio right now is Gone by Michael Grant. So this is also science fiction, oddly enough. That's entirely by chance. But Gone is a YA science fiction and a completely different kind of situation. So in this book, there are a bunch of kids, ninth graders. They're sitting in class in their small town. Ninth grade's in the middle school. So they're in the middle school, listening to their teachers, and all of a sudden, in a single instant, all of their teachers disappear. And in fact, they figure out all of the adults in the entire town disappear. Anyone over 15 disappears, so that these ninth graders are the oldest people in their town now. So as with Project Hail Mary, this is a really cool premise to kick off a book, and it just gets better and better. The adults all disappearing is far from the weirdest thing that happens in this town. A lot of other things begin happening. So this group of kids is dealing with being on their own. Their parents are all gone. They are trying to figure out how to survive on their own. It is a very small town. There aren't like big Walmarts or malls around. But of course, at the same time, there are bullies who are taking advantage of this new scenario. So one reviewer described this as Lord of the Flies for the 21st century, and that's a pretty good description. So there's a lot of kind of battle between the bullies and the good kids who are trying to do the right thing. But at the same time, all this weird sci-fi type stuff is happening. The kids are trying to figure out what happened, how do they stop it, how do they get normal life back? It is action-packed, full of suspense, a lot of tension. The characters are great. I'm really loving the characters. Now, I did discover that this is book one of a long series, so I don't know if I'm going to read the whole series, but I just finished this last night, and I really loved it. So that's Gone by Michael Grant. And I would love to hear what you're reading this weekend. Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe to my channel, and tell me what you plan to read this weekend.